is going on, internet? My name is Loki. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Happy Halloween. How's everybody doing? We're live today. Thought I'd change things up a little bit. Got a new change of scenery all for Halloween. I am Loki today. Hope you guys are having a great one. And I thought, you know what? Let's come live today for the update, because I'll be honest, there's not a lot. there's not a lot to really talk about that's been going on inside the Big Brother house, but we got a few things we can go over. Today is day number 91 inside the Big Brother house, and before I kind of jump into chat with you guys in the live chat, as this thing is the most annoying costume in the world, let's talk a little bit about what did happen yesterday on the live feeds. Jag didn't use the veto during the ceremony. Cirie and Felicia stay up on the block. Cirie does tell Jag and Matt, she's like, you know, Reilly told me all them days ago to trust you too, and I'm so glad I did. And how amazing is it going to be when she sees us all together at finale? It was a good try. It was a good try, Cirie, but they're not buying it. Jag especially, he was like, her and her little tricks. They worked on Survivor. She was great on the Traitors. Not with us. Not with the Minutemen. It's not gonna make us fall for this. So it doesn't seem like Cirie has much of a chance to save herself. She is excited though to share the news about her and Jared. She was talking to Felicia in the kitchen, and there was kind of a funny little conversation. She was like, I can't wait for you to meet my youngest son. He's just like Jared. She's like, oh, is he? Jared always reminded me of Jair, Felicia's son. She's like, oh yeah, I can't wait till you meet him. You're gonna be like, he's exactly like you said. Later on, she was alone, kind of just hanging out in the backyard. And she was like, yeah, you're gonna meet, wait till you meet my boy. Your boy? Your boy is my boy. When do you find that out? And then there was another thing I wanted to get into. And I guess it's kind of good that we're live, because I feel like this is more a topic for discussion than it really is the update videos, right? Because what I'm about to get into, and I'm sure some of you guys are aware, there's been a little bit of nastiness going on recently. And I think what people have to remember is, yes, it's not fun to see that kind of stuff. And I really don't cover it a lot here on the channel. I think most of you guys know I try and focus on gameplay stuff. If it really starts to go over the line, of course, we have to talk about it. And then if it starts to affect gameplay, we've got to talk about it. But for the most part, I try and stay away from all of like the nasty stuff that usually ends up happening. There's people still in the house who were nasty earlier in the season, saying stuff about people who are still in the house, who I never really talked about. I never really brought it up. But it's funny when people try and say, Ori, how come you didn't talk about what they were saying on the feeds? It's like, well, I didn't talk about it earlier in the season either, when the people who are currently being talked about were doing the talking. So I try and keep things pretty fair and balanced. But one of the things I did want to kind of have a discussion with you guys about with this is how I feel things get escalated and why I think it kind of is ruining our show. And a lot of it has to do with things I've kind of talked about before, with that kind of toxic fan base that has kind of developed now, where every little thing that the house guests do in there is scrutinized and looked at, and they're held these standards, which not only we never held previous house guests and previous seasons to, but those previous seasons, if we held them to those standards, people who are legends today would not be legends in this game, because they would have been called pariahs and called out, and completely everybody would have turned against them. So I think it's something that really we need to be careful with, because we also want more real and raw Big Brother, right? Like, how much do we all say, like, oh, I wish they would go back to the diary room sessions back in the day where they weren't as edited and they didn't feed them lines? Why do you think they do that now? Maybe it's because they're afraid of what people would really be saying in the diary room, and they don't want them to come off that evil. Maybe they're feeding them lines to make them more family friendly, because everybody online just goes in on people as soon as they make one little comment, where this is a game where psychologically things mess with you. And when you're in there long enough, eventually it's kind of like the Batman saying, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Every single season has that, where someone who was a fan favorite eventually does something in there where people are like, what was that? I don't like that. And I think that's a thing where you just need to understand that your personal barometer is your personal barometer. If you don't like the things they're saying about other people, that's totally fine, right? And I totally agree with you that, like, I don't like when people are getting nasty in there. But when they do, I don't think it's a moment where we have to go in and be like, these are the worst people ever, and we have to call them out. And because at the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal? These are a bunch of people playing for $750,000. There's a lot worse things I would do in there for $750,000 than call somebody a bad name. I mean, I think we can say that there's worse things that people have done in there than be bullies in the house. But other than that, though, I think that really kind of covers everything I have for Big Brother today. But let's have a discussion with you guys. I see a bunch of you guys in chat over here. How all are you guys? Morrow, I see you were in there real early. Chastity. Who else do we got there? PG. Amik. Maybe I'm saying that right. Probably saying that wrong. Not too sure. But hello, how are you? Melinda, Laurie, is that Laurie? Yeah, Laura, Karen, Midas, Norma, Linda, Selena, Jacqueline, Timothy. How are you all? Hope you're doing well. A bunch of new ones I was missing here. As I see Mara's loving the hair. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. It does not matter if she stays or goes because she is the influence with the votes. Oh, with Cirie, 100%. That's a thing that if I'm Matt, I'm ecstatic that Cirie is going to jury, because she is going to be pushing hard for, of all the people, Matt over anybody else. And hey, look at that. We got a super chat coming in from Roman. Thank you very much on this lovely Halloween. You get a little Hisam dance, a little Halloween Hisam dance. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. But let's see here. Michael last season turned into a villain fast, and for actual good reasons. Roman, like, you're kind of right? Like, Michael, someone who people are carrying the banner for now, after his season is over, if you remember, became the villain towards the end of the season because people didn't like the way he was playing. But yet now, he's the real holder of the record, and anything that Jag does isn't important. And again, I'm not even like this huge Jag supporter, right? Like, I like Jag. I think he's done all right for himself in there. But I don't think he's like some great player or whatever, right? Like, I think he's made a lot of mistakes. But I do think, hey, he's setting records in there and possibly going to break records. All he needs is one more competition win. And I think he has a really good shot at this next HOH or potentially the Final Four veto. Which will be the one that ties the record for 9. And if he happens to win both of them, or he wins 1 and the final 3 HOH, he will set the record for the most competition wins. And I think that's actually a little bit fitting, where the season is longer, so therefore there's more competition, so you get more of a chance. He also came back into the game. But I think that kind of shows how hard of a record it really is to win that many competitions, when Jag, for him to do it, needed a little bit extra and a little bit of help to get there. And it doesn't mean that, like, he's better than Michael if he breaks the record. It just means he broke the record. That's all it means. perfect example in hockey. Alex Ovechkin, great player, no disrespect to Ovi, but Wayne Gretzky is the greatest hockey player of all time. His record, I don't know if he just broke it or he's about to break it. Like, he's really close to breaking one of the records that people thought was going to be the end all. Like, no one was ever going to touch this record that Gretzky set. And Ovechkin's beating it. Like, he's getting ready to beat it, or he just beat it. I'm not 100% sure. I like hockey. I don't follow it that much. But he's really close to that record. Does that now automatically mean Roman knows he's close to breaking it? Got it. He's close to breaking it. Which still is like, people are like, dang, how is he close to breaking this like unbreakable record? This is like the worst. It moves so much. I think you guys can tell it moves so much. Like, it just wants to sink and cover my eyes. But higher. Oh, hey, we got another super chat coming on in. You get a little Hisam dance. Get a little Hisam dance over here. Thank you so much. Ginger Locks coming in. Happy Halloween. Go Birds. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. But like, back to kind of my point there. Does that then mean that Ovechkin is better than Gretzky just because he broke his long-standing record? No, it just means he's also a decent player who did well, right? Like, just because you break a record doesn't mean you're automatically better than somebody. And I think that's something that people were like offended by. They were like, oh, Jags breaking the record that Michael and Janelle set? How dare he? And they're taking it really far. And it's, I don't know, it's a thing. If I had was a jury Marvel, will be for production. If I was a jury Marvel, will be for production. Or like, do you mean like Cirie like will be a jury Marvel and it will be good for production? That I agree with too. If you mean you'd be a jury Marvel, Ronald, I'd love to see it. Get on in that house. Get on in that house. That's anybody in the chat. Get on in there. I'm also very confident at this point that there will be a winter season of Big Brother of some sort. Whether it is celebrity, fingers crossed that it's like a mini, like 1 month long alumni season where they get like really big names to come on back, because I think that's how you get the big names to come on back and actually do it, is if you make it a short season. Big Brother's just too long for people to commit to fully. So I think if you made it kind of that shorter season, you'd get a lot more people that be interested in coming on in. So yeah, I think it's almost guaranteed, especially with the actors strike still going, like it's not over. I think it's almost guaranteed we'll see some sort of winter season before even Big Brother Canada, which is going to be coming up usually around what, March? Is that when that premieres? Something like that. They're casting for it now at the moment. Let's see. Jag, Matt, Bowie have turned into all that they said they hated. And Bonnie, I was just talking about that earlier, and I think it's one of those things where it's almost inevitable in Big Brother, where people are going to say and do things that we don't like or we don't agree with. And it happened even earlier in this season with other people in the house, which I didn't really bring up either, because it was one of those things where it's like, it doesn't really matter. Not really. It's people are going to be that way, right? And you're right, though. They kind of have lived long enough to see themselves become the villain. And, there's nothing wrong with that either, right? Like, we need villains in the house. And I hate going in hard on people who are acting like villains, because if we do that, we'll never get villains again. We need these people for the show. We need nastiness for it to be fun and entertaining. Look at the House of Villains on E! Imagine if they were all nice people. It wouldn't be a show. It wouldn't be a good show. Exactly, Rockstar. You see yourself become the villain. Jury member, I will vote for production. Oh, Ronald's like, yo, I'm an inside guy, right? Like, I will work for production. Who do you want to win? Just let me know. Something funny on the feeds yesterday, Jat was talking about Jared being scared of bugs, that it's impossible for him to be an exterminator. I saw that, Richard. They were like, there's no way he was an exterminator. Like, he had to be something else. And they were saying, like, he had, like, all these, like, famous, like, streamers and YouTube friends. They're like, he had to be, like, a rapper or something. They're like, there's no way he was just an exterminator. Happy Halloween, Eric. Hope you're having a great day. Trick or treat. Rocky says, hope Cirie survives. It's tough. It's looking real tough for her. I think she's a dead woman walking at this point. We had Jared as a zombie earlier in the season where he was evicted and wasn't really in the game, but still in the house. That's kind of where Cirie's at right now. She's kind of the zombie. She's basically evicted already, but she's still in the house. Felicia confronting Jag last night was awesome. That was pretty good too. But for the most part, like, there's not really a lot, right? Like, she's confronting Jag, but it's like, is she really? Like, it doesn't really change much. You need people to hate to make anything fun. Exactly, Rockstar. We need the heel, right? In professional wrestling, you got the baby face, the good guy, and you got the heel, the bad guy. You need that, right? I'm Loki right now. Could you imagine what event? You stop that. Could you imagine what Avengers would be without Loki as the villain? Right? Like, you need that foil to play off of. If everybody was just a nice person, there's no story behind that. There's no overcoming adversity. Like, you need that stuff for the show. So if we go too hard on them, which, yes, I agree, maybe they're going a little too hard on everybody else, but the people they're going hard on were also hard on people earlier in the season. It just happens in Big Brother. It is what it is. Let's see. Imagine how Cirie stands would react if Jag flipped on Cirie behind her back while giving her a hug. What's that? Best tickets? You know what? That's kind of my point, right? Where people will be okay with one person doing it. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be Cirie fans, right? At the same time, there were like Korean America fans who were, only rooting for Korean America, and everything else that people did to them was wrong. There's people that were Jag fans and Matt fans and Blue fans and Reilly fans earlier in the season. And anything that was done against them was wrong, and anything they did was right. And you get these groups of people that will root for one particular house guest, and whatever they do is the right thing, and anything somebody does against them is the wrong thing. And it's way more gray than that, right? Like, people are not these like perfect specimens that are always going to be virtuous and perfect in there. So yeah, you need a little bit of both. You need a little bit of both. Hey everyone, restarting the stream. Oh no, you're restarting the stream, unless you're just going to check out what we were talking about earlier, because we did do a little bit of the update in there. Production is 18th member of the house guest. Big Brother changes in the course of the season, this game. So Ronald, on that, like, I understand what you're saying, and don't get me wrong, there is levels of production interference, right? Like, they will be that invisible hand that does mess with things. But what's interesting to me is how many people were so sure earlier in the season that production was rigging this for Cirie, but now all of a sudden Cirie's not doing so well, and oh, they weren't rigging it for Cirie, they're rigging it for Jag and Matt. That's who they're doing it for. And it's like, well, what is it really? Right? Like, are you saying that production just flips their favorites? Which, hey, maybe that's what it is, right? They were on Cirie, but then they decided, nah, we want Matt and Jag to do well, so they started supporting them. That's a possibility. But honestly, I think what really is the situation, because I think we give production way too much credit. I think they're way more incompetent, and I don't think they could pull off these like crazy manipulative ways that people think they're able to control the game, because they can't even do things like the simple things right? You know what I mean? Like, they're so lazy on other stuff that I just don't see it being this big conspiracy where they're controlling who wins the game every year. Yeah, maybe they change a competition here or there. Maybe they, throw a twist in when somebody's in danger. But at the end of the day, they can't control what these players do in there. They can't control who people nominate. They might be able to suggest in the diary room, but that doesn't mean you're able to control what the final decisions are. So yeah, is there some manipulation? Sure, but there's manipulation in every show, whether it's Survivor, the Traitors. The Traitors, literally, they pick who the traitors are. It's not even random or anything, right? Like, production is always going to be this invisible hand on these shows, and we just kind of have to accept that, right? Just like in the NFL, like there's always going to be the referees that are causing some kind of issue, and there's going to be like, I wish they didn't make that call, or that was a bad call in that spot. That's why people push for robot refs, which I just don't think we'll ever get fully in sports. But it's a thing. It's a thing. Let's see. I know there's a lot of you in chat. It's hard for me to keep up on everything. But let's kind of jump down a little bit and see where we're at. Or maybe Cirie is actually a really bad player and not even production could help her. So Roman, I do have a little bit of thoughts on that. Cirie is great with people. She's a fantastic social player. And in all of the games that she's played, Survivor, the Traitors, Snake in the Grass even, these are games that are very quick, right? Survivor, the longest she was ever on the island was 39 days. We're literally more than double that already right now. The Traitors takes place in about 2 weeks. So you just have to really get people to trust you, right? If you're good at getting people to trust you, you will be good at those games. And Cirie is a master. Cirie is a master of just having a conversation and getting people to walk away feeling great about them. You know who else would be really good at the Traitors and Survivor? I think both of them. If they didn't have the stigma of who they were, because that's the other part, is she is who she is. If Cirie was coming into this game not being Cirie, I almost feel like she makes the final two. Like if she's just a random person playing like Cirie did, I think she still gets as far, if not farther, in this game. But two people who I think also are in that vein of a type of player that Cirie is. Tyler from BB20. Tyler would crush the Traitors. He had deals with everybody in the house. Even on BB22, he had deals with everybody in the house. But people still just go, yeah, it's Tyler. I trust him. I just trust him. I don't know why I trust him, but I trust him. And like he would do really well on something like the Traitors. The thing is with Big Brother, it is a marathon of a game. And not only is it a marathon strategically, right? Because one of the problems we saw with Cirie this season was how she never could like stick to a plan. It was always like jumping back and forth on like what she was going to do each week. And I think Izzy had a little bit to do with that as well. But they would overthink their thought process. And I think that's something you can't do in Survivor. You can't do in the Traitors, because as soon as you're thinking of what to do, you've got to go and you got to make your decision. Whereas Big Brother, you get like a week. You get like a whole week to make your decision on whether or not you're actually going to make this move. And I think she overthinks a lot of that stuff, even strategically, right? Like she has a mind for it, but she will overthink her game plan. And I think that kind of affected her too. Christopher Paul's another one, right? Where he just has this like X factor. Well, I guess Paul goes by they now. They all, right? Paul, Cirie, Tyler. Oh, the other person I was going to mention, Derek. Derek was really good at this, where you would have a conversation with him, and not only would you come away feeling better about that conversation, Dan also has this as well. I should put Dan in there. You come away from it, even though you know you probably shouldn't trust them, you come away trusting them more. And not just trusting them more, like Derek, one of the things he had was he had this ability to come into a conversation, make you want to, he would want to make you think that his idea was the right one. And not only would he get you to walk away thinking that his idea was the right way to go, he would get you to walk away thinking it was your idea. Like, he was really good at that kind of stuff. And that's something that Cirie kind of has as well, where she's just very good one-on-one and getting you to believe in her. It's what we were talking about earlier when she went to Jag and Matt and was like, Reilly, oh man, she's gonna be so happy when she sees the three of us. That stuff works on the Traitors, right? That works when you've only known a person for a week. It doesn't work when you've known a person for 90 days inside that house. It doesn't work. You catch on to those tricks. And that's the difference between Survivor, the Traitors, all these other shows, and Big Brother, is you spend so much time in these houses, you eventually like, oh yeah, no, you're lying to me. Like, that would have worked on me week 1. It's not working on me on week 11 inside this house. And that's a big difference on these games. Good morning, I'm late. What's up, Ladybug? How are you? Hopefully you're having a great Halloween. Hope everyone's having a great Halloween. But yeah, we're hanging out. We're doing our thing here live. I thought maybe we'd do a little Halloween special. We got new look decorations. I took my hat off. You guys like my hair? Yeah, it's a little you know, messy. I didn't really comb it well. You can't play BB like Survivor. Exactly, Ladybug. Norma, great. Now I'm sick. I think I caught it from the BB show this season. Norma, I hope you're feeling better. But possibly. Even during the last HOH, she changed her plan while playing the exactly, Roman. Like, why did she all of a sudden start going for Felicia when she should just take Jag out of the competition? You need Jag out of that HOH. Why are you changing your plan now all of a sudden? Is there going to be a stream on Thursday as well? Yes, there will be, Rocket. I just figured, especially today, there wasn't much to really talk about. And I thought we'd come on and have a little fun and chat. Ory, who does Ory want to see win? Ooh, that's a good question. I think Matt and Jag both deserve it for different reasons. But you want my honest like dream? Let's get a Felicia Bowie final 2. Let's get a Felicia Bowie final 2, and whoever wins is whoever wins. If we can get that to happen, I'm down. Let's see. When Izzy was in the house, she and Cirie definitely overthink everything. Exactly, Laura. That's what, like, they were just spinning all the time, and it's because they had so long between the decisions they had to make that they were just always going with new things. Would a season be this long be better with 18 or 20 house guests? I think you could do it PG, but one of the problems I think that Big Brother does have in general is there's always like that moment in the house where things just get like a lull, right? Like, there's not much going on. Like right now we're kind of in that point where it's like, like everything's just kind of waiting to play out, right? Like, we're just waiting for the next thing. Whereas earlier in the seasons, when there are more people, there's a lot of like maneuvering and conversations and, oh, like if this person tells this person this little thing, it could change everything. Whereas later in the game, you don't get a lot of that kind of stuff. So I think that's always kind of an issue. Last year, they did a really good job because right when we thought BB25 was about to get like kind of boring and predictable and the leftovers were going to steamroll through, split house twist. And that shook up the whole game, changed everything around. So I feel like the biggest thing isn't necessarily like how many people you have in there, how long the season goes. It's just having things that, you know, keep the game moving, right? And keep it interesting and not predictable. Because as soon as things become predictable, that's when it starts to get a little rough. they should change the end game and speed it up. Chris, I'm with you, right? Like, come up with something to make it quicker. Maybe instead of, 2 weeks, the final 5 is only the final week, right? Like, make it happen quicker. Survivor does kind of the same thing where, like, you get the final 6-ish in the finale, right? Like, it's like 2 things going on at once. They have a little bit of an advantage because they can edit everything. But I think if they like made it like a priority, they could do like a crazy week of competitions and evictions and all this kind of stuff and get it to work. I think they could pull it off. I just don't know if they want to. Let's see where we at. It is so tough to keep up with the chat, but I love all of you hanging out with me today. The whole zombie week killed the momentum, make it a triple. Yes, happy Halloween, everyone. They could do They could do an awesome finale week if they just had everybody. Tyra, how are you? Welcome on in. Hopefully you're having a great Halloween. Stin, what up, Stin? How are you? Listen, if you guys are not following Stin, his name's right there. Do you have a link? Hold on. Let me see if I can get a link for your channel and throw it in there. Stin's awesome. He's been doing a lot of coverage on Survivor, the Traitors. Recently, I just saw he did a video on Survivor UK, which if you guys aren't watching Survivor UK, it's kind of fantastic. Let me see here. Where is your channel? And then it's this one, right? Because it's not that one you're doing it on. Hold on. I'm like trying to find this. And why am I struggling to find it? It's here somewhere. I know it. I know it. Let me see. Is a link. I know I had it. Why is it not showing up for me? Here we go. Found it. I got it, everybody. I got it. We'll post it. Boom. We'll post it a couple times in chat there. Go give my buddy Stin a sub right there. He's been doing a lot of great stuff. Does a lot of great shorts on different things going on in Big Brother. Is that the one that you do the Big Brother stuff on, or is that the other one or no? All right, so that's the one I think you do the shorts on. Where is he? Because you have 2 channels. Or is that the one you've been doing everything on, like the lives and stuff like that too? It is. Okay, it is. That's the one you want to go to. Go give him a sub. He's awesome. I noticed you didn't wear your Eagles jersey on Sunday. They did win. Yeah, I just kind of wore the hoodie. I didn't go the full jersey for the update, but I ended up wearing it later. I did it later. I'm here for all the fun this season. Only made my short list because of your update. Season 25 was not the greatest. Honestly, here's the thing. I actually think season 25 was a lot of fun. It was not the greatest. I'll say, like, it wasn't even top 5, right? Top half, right? Like, if you look at all of the seasons, I think it's top half. I think it's better than 17 to 24. I think you can easily say it's better than 17 to 24, in my opinion, right? Like, and I get, like, not everybody, like, people like are big fans of 20. I know people are big fans of 17. I know there's a lot of people who are fans of 24 and 23, but I think you could easily put it above those. I think you could put it above, like, season 11 even. Like, 11 was fun, but, like, as far as, like, how things on that season turned out, like, I think this one was more fun overall. It wasn't great gameplay. The gameplay wasn't fantastic. But one of my things is you don't need great gameplay for the show to be fun to watch. And in fact, I think this season was so fun to watch because it was so chaotic. We never knew what was going to happen week by week. Every single week we were like, well, yeah, it should be this person who goes. But these people just went and turned everything around in the course of like 2 hours. And we were like, wait a minute. So it was all over the place. So for me, I think it's in the top. It's in the top half. I don't know where exactly I'm gonna rank it yet. I am in the process of kind of putting together my thoughts on the whole season. I want to do a video that's going to come out after the season that's kind of like week by week, going over kind of my thoughts, what I liked, what I didn't, just the season as a whole, and really kind of do it right. BB Canada is the best, then BB Australia, then BB US. BB Australia, I haven't watched as much. I know their format was a little bit different for a long time. I think they've come a little bit closer to the US format where like they vote each other out now, right? Am I right on that? Am I wrong on that? I'm not 100% sure. Now, something I do watch a lot of in Australia is Australian Survivor. If you're not watching Australian Survivor, you're missing out. King George? Oh yeah, all hail King George. All hail King George. Anyone missing the circle? Chris, I actually just saw a thing that the newest season just finished filming, and I believe the new season is filming like right after it. They're filming like 2 back to back. And I think they've moved filming. I think it's in Atlanta now. Like I think they film in Georgia, where what they used to do was they filmed everything in the UK. So I think the UK version, the French version, and the American version were all filmed in the same building. Like it was always in that same spot. So we should see a new one of those coming soon. Let's see, where are we here? No, I'm missing. I know I miss a lot of the chats as we go. But I do appreciate you all being here. George, right? The Flipadelphias. How many weeks did we do? Not 1, not 2, but like 3 flips in a day. Right? Like it was wild what was happening this season. Yes, we did have a little bit of a cliff that we kind of fell off right around the zombie week when they were just like, hey, let's just postpone the game by a week. And it was like, okay. But other than that, like I think even then, like afterwards, we had some really good moments where it was like, oh, there's some tension here. Who's gonna win these competitions? Because they're really important. Oh, who ends up winning the important competitions? Oh, it's Jag, but he didn't have any competition. Not like Cory in America were competition at all, right? He only beat them to send them out of the house, right? Ory, I'm going to miss you when this is over. You're a staple of my mornings. Now, do you have anything in the off season? So, Aaron, that's a great question. I do have some plans for the off season, for some videos I want to do. Obviously, I was just talking about kind of like the season kind of wrap up as a whole. I want to do some more kind of like special videos, right? They take a little bit more to like edit and like get done, because I don't think they're just like talking head videos, right? Like I want to have like footage to kind of back it up, and that's always a fine line that you have to go with YouTube and copyright, and you're allowed to use so much with fair use and things like that. But I have plans for that kind of stuff. I remember the BB24 retrospective fell through. Yeah, Stin, you know, that was a thing. I did say I was gonna do that, and it fell through. But I've already written multiple weeks of my thoughts. I've already done that, so we're most of the way there. I've already started gathering B-roll footage. We've already made more process on this than last year, so don't worry, Stin. Let's see, where else are we at? But yeah, there's definitely plans. I think even I want to do maybe some more of these morning live streams kind of throughout the off season, and we can kind of talk about like other things that are going on. Like there's plenty of stuff right now, like the House of Villains. Are you guys watching the House of Villains? Here's the thing with the House of Villains. why I love it is it's such an unserious show. Like, they are very tongue-in-cheek with everything they're doing, but also at times they take it so seriously. Like, it's the most unserious, serious show I've ever seen. It's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it. Omarosa's on there, Johnny Bananas is on there, New York is on there. There's a bunch of really good characters, and it's been fun to watch them. Hey Ori, I tried to follow updates here and there, but after the zombie week started, it really been a struggle for me to care. Production really shot down a good season. And Ronnie, I'm with you. I think that is where the season did kind of start to go downhill more. There were some good moments and stuff afterwards, but also a large part of that was, hey, we got to make this season longer because of the writer's strike and stuff like that. So that didn't help. It definitely didn't help a lot with everything that happened. But I agree. That's kind of when things started to take a turn. Netflix Ori Circles, please review. I will, yeah. When the new season of the Circle starts, we can chat about that. No way, Cirie. Why did you want one person to win so much? Cirie, because she, where was I? But it would be funny for America to, for America's favorite player. You guys are talking about who you would want to win America's favorite player. Ooh. Who do I want to win and who do I think should win? Honestly, because personally, I think the favorite player should be the one who played the hardest, who really went in there and like just went for it. And I see a couple of people saying it already. Cameron. I think Cameron played the hardest. Now, do I think he's going to win? No, I don't think he's going to win. Who do I think's going to win? Probably Matt or Cirie. Probably Matt or Cirie. But personally, I think the award should go to the person who played the hardest. And for me, that was Cameron. Cameron was playing in there. And most of the time was playing to survive. So I think he deserves it the most. Like if I had like the whole say. But other than that, I think it's probably going to be Cirie or Matt who ends up winning it. I think Jag, there's a case for him to be America's favorite player too. I think he played really hard. America and Cory were fun in there. Yeah, that's really good. Felicia was fun to watch, right? I think there's a case you can make for all of them. But who's probably going to win it? If I had to pick the winner, it's Cirie or Matt. I'm just not 100% sure who's going to take it at the end. Cam or Cirie. I hope Cirie doesn't win it. Cirie, we can we vote now? I don't think the voting's open yet, but probably soon. Felicia should win HOH next week. Ooh, that would be fun if Felicia won HOH. In a social game like BB, playing to stay alive through comps means you're likely the worst player in the house. So Lou, that's the thing, right? Like it's a social game, but that's not the only aspect to it, right? It's a little bit of both, where it's not just one dimensional, right? Like, yes, being a good social player, sure, right? Like if you're always fighting from the bottom, probably means you're one of the worst players in the house, at least because you're seen as a target. But sometimes it's the opposite of that, where it's just people are so good it's obvious. And sometimes it's, the cast not really taking the shots at the targets they need to. There's a lot that kind of goes into it. Can we get a straw poll? I think I can do polls. Can I do a poll? Yeah, let's see. Who should win America's favorite player? And then here's Cirie, Matt. I don't know how many options I can do. Let's get Felicia and Cam. Oh, I can only do 4 options. So I got Cirie, Matt, Felicia, and Cam. Is there anybody that should come off of that you guys are like, whoa, wait a minute? Is there anybody of those 4? Should I take out Felicia for Cory/America? Like do like a double of them? So that's the thing. I can't add anybody else, Rock. I can only do the 4 on the poll. Jag, right? Like Jag's a good one. Let's just see how this one goes. Let's just see how this one goes, because I saw her name a lot in there from chat. So here we go. Let's see how this works. There, we got a poll going. Should be in chat there. And you could vote on who you would like to see be America's favorite player. Cirie, Matt, Felicia, Cam. Those are your options right now. So far, it's a 2-horse race. It's very close between Cirie and Cameron, both around 30-ish%. Matt making a little bit of a comeback. He's starting to come up a little bit. But it's definitely close. Cam pulling away slightly, it looks like. But we'll see how that poll goes. Let that cook for a bit. Do the main 3 and then do the other. No Cory in America. People can't even agree on a top 4. Roman, you ain't wrong. Start reviewing the challenge. And so here's the thing. I do like the format of the new challenge, but I wasn't in love with the cast. There wasn't really many people that were like, yeah, I'm excited to see them play. But I could add that in. Let's see, where else were we at? Losing where I was. I don't want Jag to win the game. Felicia is the only good option from those 4. Lots of Camerons. Let's see. Do another and add Cirie, Cam, Jag, and Blue. Ooh, those would be interesting. Yes, definitely going to be recapping and talk about the Traitors US when that comes around. And that's one of the things like I think would be nice about doing more of these like live streams in the morning and just talking about random thoughts, you know, shows that are on at the moment. Because for Big Brother, I think the update videos just coming on, like letting you guys know what happened on the live feeds and stuff like that, that works, right? But I feel like my format doesn't really translate to things like the challenge or Survivor very well. They do better more in these kind of like live chat kind of formats where I can get more feedback from you guys and have a good conversation. Let's see. But yeah, I think we can definitely keep more of those things going, especially during the off season times, right? Let's see. Yeah, yeah. I think they did do it as America's favorite player once, right? And then they changed it to house guest. But yeah, I think they changed the name all the time. Matt likely the best of the 3. JD, I'm kind of with you. I think Matt is a very high likely that he's going to be America's favorite player. Cirie had so many chances. I think Matt did make a critical error this week because now he's in a position where Jag and Bowie both seem like they're going to end up taking each other over him. And honestly, I think both of them would take Felicia over him. Matt needs to basically win the final 3 HOH if he wants to make the final 2. It will end with Bowie Jane in a bloodstained parka. Bowie Jane just standing tall at the end. Also, I just looked at the poll. It is tied right now. 38% Cirie, 38% Cam. Cirie just got 1%. It's 39% Cirie, 38% Cam. Wow. That's a close vote. I think we need to do it again. We need to do it again with Cirie and Cam, but we need 2 new people to be in the poll instead of Matt and Felicia for America's favorite player. I saw the suggestion. What was it? Jag and Blue? Do we have any other suggestions on who should be in the poll? If we run a new one, we need 2 new people. It'll be Cam and Cirie. And then who are the other 2 people? I wish I could do more options, but I can only do 4 at a time. Cory and Jag, that's a good bet. No on Blue. I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't think Blue really has a chance, but there are some people calling for it. Jag. Cory. Izzy. Oh, Izzy was fun, right? I don't think Izzy should win, but there's a case for Izzy. Like, Izzy made a lot of this season way funner than it really should have been earlier. Like, Izzy deserves credit for that. Like, hands down, Izzy does. Izzy brought something to this show. No one, Izzy. Yeah, Ronnie, Izzy gave us good feeds. That's what Izzy gave us. She's not America's favorite player, like, winner, but, like, she gave us stuff. She brought it. Cory and Jag. How about a compromise here? We'll do Cirie Cam. We'll throw Jag in there. And we'll also do a Cory/America. Right? Like if you were going to vote for Cory, if you were going to go for America. And we'll just see how that does in there. We'll see how that does. So we'll end this one, which, again, it's super close. Cirie and Cam, it's been 1 percentage point back and forth. So let's do another one here. Final results, it was 38-37. Cirie just over Cam, which is interesting. Okay. Who should win America's favorite house guest? We'll just do it like that. Cirie, Cam, Jag, and we'll do a Cory/America as like who would you vote for of those 2? You can pick one, because that's the other thing with Cory and America. I think if you didn't have to worry about Cory and America splitting the vote, I think one of them would have a really good shot. But what's going to happen with Cory and America? There's going to be people that like them both, and they're going to end up voting for one or the other, and the vote gets split, and they're not going to be able to get to the top. So I'm kind of interested to see where they would fall on the poll together, and if they would match. Cameron, let's see. To be frank, Cirie did nothing all season. I mean, listen, Cirie was doing stuff, and I think for a lot of the early part of the season, everything ran through her. She had a very big say on who was going home, from Kirsten, Reilly, Hisam, and Red. All 4 of those evictions were because that's what Cirie wanted. It wasn't until we got to Izzy, Jared, and Mimi, that's when things started to not go good for Cirie. And that's when things changed. But the first few weeks of the season, it was Cirie's game. And it's why, if this season was 45 days long, Cirie probably wins. Or Jared actually probably wins. But the season wasn't 45 days long, and that's when everything changed and everything fell apart. It also is about the same length as Survivor and the Traitors, and goes back to what I was saying earlier in the stream, where the way Cirie plays, it works on those shows. Because that's all you need to do. You just need to get people to trust you for a little bit. But in Big Brother, they live with you long enough where eventually they catch on to your tricks, they start comparing enough notes, and they figure it out. So if you play the way Cirie did from the very beginning and you start getting too mixed up in the stuff, it ends up biting you in the end and really can start getting at you. Guys, the poll cannot be any closer between Cirie and Cam. Literally every time we're doing this, it's 39-39, 38-39, 40-39. Cirie and Cam, it is neck and neck. Does Cam have more support than I'm even thinking? Could Cam end up winning America's Favorite Player? Interesting. The Minutemen were the hitmen, like Shelltown was Chilltown. Oh. Right? Just make it Cirie and Cam at this point, I feel like. Man, that's crazy. Cameron will win America's Favorite Player. There's a group of us coming in for him. Swap it with Cam and Cirie only. I think that's what we got to do. I think we just got to do it with Cam and Cirie. Is there anyone else that you guys think, yeah, deserves to be in this poll other than Cam and Cirie? Casuals will not see it the same. Tammy, that's true. That's true. Imagine Izzy's face if Cameron wins a Vicky. Oh, we need it now. We need it now. We need Cameron to win just for Izzy. Just to see Izzy's reaction. We need it. Casuals are for live watchers are for Cameron. I think there might be more casuals that could be for Cameron too. I don't think it's too far off. I think like Cameron he appeals to some of what the casuals normally kind of go for. And I think he could have a spot. Izzy and Hisam are great. Hisam's another one. We were denied of the greatness that was Hisam. Hisam should have been on the show way longer than he was. He was so much fun. Hisam was great. I love Big Brother, but I've stopped watching. I can't finish out. Jag annoys me so much. I hear you. I hear you. But we're so close to the end. Cam and Izzy were 45% of the fun into the house. I kind of agree. I kind of agree there, Morrow. It's Halloween. Someone should be Hisam's laugh. Can I get that to play? I might be able to get that to play here. Hold on. I made a thing. And it was posted up in the Discord. I wonder if I can get it to show up here easily. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, I know you can hear that, but you can't see that. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can get this on here real quick. It would be a window. We'll just do this. Oh, perfect. Okay. I can put this here. So this came from we were chilling in the Discord. Shout out to Matt. And oh, you know what we'll do before I run this? While we check this out, I'm gonna end the poll. So again, really close with Cirie and Cameron once again. So let's do one more with just Cam and Cirie and see who comes out on top for America's Favorite Player. America's Favorite Player. Cirie. Cam. Okay. Poll is up. Vote for who you think should be America's Favorite Player. Should it be Cam? Should it be Cirie? This will let us know without any of the other people in there. But big shout out to Matt in the Discord because he kind of helped inspire this. Oh, I don't think I can play it from that window. I gotta play it from this window. He helped inspire this. But this is something I threw together for Hisam. It just fits so perfectly. It fits so perfectly. Like, I didn't even have to like edit much of it. I literally just took his laugh and put it over the Joker. It just works. It just works, guys. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Hisam's laugh was next level. Next level. I mean, Hisam, you know what one of the greatest things about Hisam was? The way that man slept. The way that man slept was crazy. I legit remember when he won HOH and he's sleeping in the bed, and I had the feeds up, like getting ready to do one of the updates, and I look over and I was like, is he okay? His neck was like cranked like this. He was like on the floor. We were robbed of Hisam being on the show longer than he was. He was amazing. He was fun. You know what I want to see Hisam? I want to see Hisam on the challenge. I want to see Hisam do more shows. Like, I want to see more of Hisam. If anyone gets called back, and we got a super chat coming in from Morrow, getting the Hisam dance. Izzy's greater than Cam. Cam's greater than Hisam. Get a little Hisam dance on Halloween. But yeah, I think Hisam needs to come back for more. We need more Hisam. Let's see. People are so much more triggered by ridiculous stuff. 100%. And that's the thing, right? Like, I feel like people get so worked up about everything that happens on the show anymore, where it's just like, relax. Yes, we're gonna see people say some bad things, but that happens. This is real life. People say bad things sometimes. You don't have to agree with it. But we need those bad people on there, because if we don't have those bad people, we don't have anybody to root against. I always wondered, does the BB house guest get paid a salary or anything at all for their time on the show? So Anthony, yes, they do get a stipend. It's not a lot. I'm not sure what it is currently. They have raised it from what it used to be. I think back in the day it was like $1,500. It was like you got $1,500 a week, pretty much. And what will happen is, that's why you always hear so many people go, I just want to make it to jury. Because if you make it to jury, you're guaranteed each of those weeks that you're there. Whereas if you got evicted prior to jury, you only get the time that you were there on the show. So yeah, they do get paid. Keisha, so RA, that's another thing, is they do pay returnees a little bit extra for showing up, and they got a lot of like guarantees for being there on top of like whatever else they got. And if they usually have it written in their contract, like, you're guaranteed to get this unless you win, then you'll get the prize. So that happens a lot too. Let's see. Game wise, Cameron played better. America's comments made him time hard in the house, and he never recovered from that. Yeah, you're right. Like, honestly, like, a big thing for Cameron is the perception that he got with the whole America drama. And I think that was one of those things where that's a good example of how sometimes things happen in the house. They're serious and we should pay attention to them, but we don't have to get carried away with a narrative that we don't fully understand. And I tried to handle that situation the best I could, because I think I was one of the first people to recognize it and call it out, because it happened literally like moments before I was getting ready to do my update. I was waiting for the America and Jag conversation, because it was right after Jag was not evicted and Matt saved him. So I really wanted to hear what America and Jag had to say. And it was during that conversation where weird stuff was coming up about Cameron, and she was like upset, and like it was hard for her to be around Cameron. And I was like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand what's happening there. I think I missed something. And what think I've basically been able to piece together is America was flirting with Cameron, but she was flirting with everyone, right? She was flirting with Cory. She was flirting with Jag. She's just very flirty. That's who she is. She was flirting with the girls, right? Like, she's just a flirty person, right? And that's there's nothing wrong with that. And I think what happened was, and I also want to preference this with, this is Big Brother, and sometimes you do these things because it's how you win Big Brother, right? I think what a lot of people were doing was they were trying to drive a wedge between America and Cameron because they didn't want them to become closer than they were, because it would be bad for their game, and they didn't trust either of them. So they started to kind of be like, yeah, I think Cameron, like, he really likes you. And like, they started to put it into her head that the innocent, joking flirting that she was doing with Cameron in his head meant more than it really was. Even though for Cameron, who, listen, if we're being honest, he's a guy, he has eyes, America is a beautiful woman. Just putting it out there, right? So I don't think there's any illusion that he didn't think she's a good-looking person. But I don't think there was this like jealousy that was seething, that he wanted Cory out of there so he could slide in. Like, that was never the situation. But that was the narrative that was being pushed to America. And one of the things you have to remember is when you're in that house, the narrative that's in that house is everything, and it's all you have. And I think it just made things very confusing and awkward for her. 100%, right? Like, that is fully valid feelings. Like, if you have this kind of like joking relationship with somebody, but they feel more way about it than you do, you would feel bad that you would be leading them on in some way. And it would hurt because now you have to change your relationship. And on top of that, there's a game relationship going on. So you don't want to hurt their feelings in that way either, and potentially hurt yours, as well as now Cory's game. So there was a lot of moving parts and dynamics with it. What ended up happening, though, was eventually they kind of realized, like, wait a minute, people were telling me stuff about you. People were telling me stuff. Why are we being silly? And eventually they kind of were able to squash that, and all like the weirdness seemed like it went away. And by the end of it, it was more of like the only weirdness was between game stuff, where he was like, you're not listening to me in the game anymore. And she's like, yeah, neither are you. And they just stopped working with each other. But as far as like the awkwardness, that all kind of went away, which that was good. Ooh, Sal, yes, poll results. Let's see. I think now we can end the results with 207 votes. Cam, 54% of the vote over Cirie to be America's favorite player. Also, why didn't the results show in the chat? I ended the poll to show it, but it didn't show it in the chat. Oh, there it is. It was just late. There it is. 54% Cam to 45% Cirie. That's interesting. I didn't think it would be that close for Cam. I didn't think Cam would win it. I honestly. Crazy. Jag used to be the friend of everyone, but his allies kept getting mad that he was hanging out with people out of his alliance. I think that kind of broke Jag and made him more cutthroat. 100% Roman, right? And a big thing with Jag and Matt too is, and I've said this kind of before, they learn to play Big Brother on the job by having it played on them. So then they're just using a lot of the tricks that were done to them back on everybody else now. So it's been kind of fun to watch that too. It'll be another BB19 angry vote when Cory please won America's favorite player. Maybe. Get Cirie out of here now. Let's see, where else are we? Cirie for America's favorite player. Tilly didn't love Matt until she left. And he started winning. Oh, Reilly. Yeah. Can we talk about Reilly and the letter and that whole situation? Because here's the thing. You're right. Lillian, you're right. Matt did make his feelings very clear to Reilly, and she gave him the, oh, buddy. Like, he's like, I just want to let you know I find you very attractive. And she gave him the, oh, buddy. And that was like, honestly, that if I was Matt and I just told Reilly, like, I think you're really attractive, and she did the all buddy, it'd be like a dagger in my heart. It would be like, oh, it would be so brutal. But she did do like the little Q-tip shrine, right? Like, maybe it was just like in that moment she didn't know what to say because she was being evicted. And she has been hanging out with his family, but they don't know each other, right? Like, they knew each other for 2 weeks, and like I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, right. Like, it doesn't make sense. Diana. It's weird. What would the house do for Halloween? That's a good question. I don't know what they're going to do. I would imagine they're going to have some kind of something for them. There's going to be a luxury comp, like a Halloween themed luxury comp on tonight's episode. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to do anything super special. Let's see. Frederick says, I should send Ory the best NFL PK jersey for Halloween. 9 Tucker for the Ravens. Hey, listen, Tucker for the Ravens is a very good kicker. He's very, very good. So yeah, I think that is that's a fair statement. I don't know if I could wear it. I don't know if I could wear it. Maybe on non-game days. On non-game days, I could rock it. On non-game days. I'm going to bed. Have a great Halloween. I sent my Ronald McDonald costume in Discord. Love it, Rockstar. Which, yeah, by the way, if you guys are not in the Discord, check it out. There's lots of things you could check out. Let me see. Can I make it show up if I do this? Maybe not. I think it's going to show up soon. Nightbot eventually does all of the socials. But I think if I do this one, the Discord specifically will come up. There we go. There's a link in the chat for the Discord. If you haven't joined it, go and hop on in there. Especially with Halloween. Post your pictures of your costumes, whatever you're wearing. Put them in the Discord so we can all see. But the Discord's a lot of fun. It's kind of a place where when I'm not live or I'm not having a video out, you can chat about Big Brother, other reality shows, sports, post pictures of your pets. It's just kind of a fun place that's been kind of cool to watch grow, even outside of just Big Brother and the stuff we do there. It's been kind of cool to get to know everybody more. And like, we're like the other day, 3 of us in there, it was like me, Matt, and Mara. We were all just making like Harry Potter references. What did we come up with? We said that we couldn't decide if Matt or Cameron was Snape. because both of them always loved Reilly. Cirie was McGonagall. We were like, Cirie's 100% McGonagall. But yeah, we go on like fun little tangents. It's been a lot of fun. So if you're not in the Discord, check that out. Plenty of other socials you can check me out too. Kick, Twitch, all those stuff. I haven't streamed on them in a while, but I do plan on getting back into them, especially with the season kind of wrapping up. A lot of my time won't be forced to watch live feeds. So I'll have more time where it's like, oh, I don't have to pay attention to what's happening. We could do some more like fun streams, like in the evenings and stuff like that, and I think that'll be fun. So check those out as well. Oh, look, there's finally it showed up. But there's a command from Nightbot, a message there. It's got the Kick, Discord, Twitch, Twitter. You can check all those out, and follow what you want, ignore what you want. But especially, yeah, if you're wearing a costume for Halloween, I want to see it. Post it up in the Discord. And yeah, everybody go do that. Top 3 BB shrines: Nick, Cappy, and Reilly. All right, that might be a good video idea for the off season. Like top shrines. Top, like, what would that be? Like cringiest relationships. That might be a good one. That might be a good one. Jake Elliott is pretty good too, though. I'm a Steelers fan. So Chris Boswell all the way. Yeah, good old Jake, man. Jake's great. I still remember it was what, the 62-yard field goal he hit against the Giants back in 2017. Woo! That was a wild, like, the place blew up when he hit that thing. That was a bomb of a kick. But yeah, there's a lot of good kickers. You know who's one I really like, just because he's a Temple kid. Brandon McManus. He's a really good kicker. But there's a lot of good kickers out there. Kickers are people too. All right? I'm not one of those football fans that think, oh, get rid of kickers, get rid of punt. No, it's an important part of the game. And if you can't get it right, that's your own fault. Have a great day, everyone. Only here for BB. Ladybug, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, listen, hold on a second. First name greatest. Okay, you're triggering me there. I know one way to scare Philly fans, Rondé Barber. That is maybe my saddest childhood memory. Eagles, Buccaneers, NFC Championship. Last game at Veterans Stadium. Like, we're closing out the building. Buccaneers had never won in temperatures lower than like 40 degrees. And it was like 27 something degrees that night. Rondé Barber with the pick six. Just crushing my childhood soul. I was so upset. That was first name greatest. You got me. you got me that one. That was so heartbreaking. Your sadness is my delight. That was we shut down the. Oh no, PG, you're a Bucks fan too. Yeah, that was a sad day. That was a sad day. I love the Eagles, but the fans scare me. Good. Good, Nikki. Who was the Eagles wide receiver that dropped the ball on the 1 yard? Oh, that was Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, that was like his rookie season. That was a thing. The KC guy is great. Yeah, Kansas City is great. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Kansas City as well because of Andy Reid being there. I was really happy to see him have all the success that he had after leaving the Eagles, because it was one of those situations where he was the Eagles head coach for just so long, and it was just like we both needed a fresh start, right? The Eagles needed a fresh start. He needed a fresh. There was so much baggage and stuff that he went through in his personal life while he was the coach of the Eagles, that it was just like he needed a new environment. And I was so happy to see him go and have all the great success he had in Kansas City. No one deserved it more than Andy Reid. I honestly think Andy Reid is one of the greatest coaches of all time. Like, he's up there. I think when, at the end of the day, when you talk about like the greatest coaches that we've ever had, Vince Lombardi, Tom Landry, Bill Belichick's got to be in there. Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid is in that conversation for one of the greatest head coaches of all time. 100%. Truth or dare, wear a Patriots jersey? Oh no, Rocky, I don't know if I could do that. Vikings are good. Yeah. Oh, what a shame about Kirk Cousins though, and his Achilles out for the season. That's rough. Ory, I've only enjoyed watching your updates every morning since I found you about 7 weeks ago. Thank you for the hard work. Angie, I appreciate that. Honestly, everyone who watches, if you watch one video a week, if you watch every day, the fact that anyone watches still kind of blows my mind, but I honestly really appreciate each and every one of you for all the support you show me here on the channel, just in general. It really is been amazing. Where we at? Hey, Orioles choked more than the Phillies last year. That would be like Bowie winning, BB. Yeah, poor Orioles. But hey, the Orioles, like, they had a little bit of a magical run in the season, but couldn't pull it off at the end there, which I hopefully they could do well. I've always liked the Orioles. I hope the best for them. Production paid for Reilly to go visit Matt's mom. He will be deflated if she didn't really like him. It's possible they did. But I will tell you this, that happens more often than you think. Where like evicted house guests will meet up with like family members of house guests that are still in there, or things like that. Like, that happens a lot more than you would think. Us Viking fans are sad. Hey, look at that. Somebody, I believe, going to follow over on Twitch. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Best food manses: Taylor and potato chips, Mickey and the watermelon, Jag and milk. Oh, what was the one? What was his name on BB19? The guy who was in a showmance with Raven and the cereal. He just ate cereal all the time. Matt. That's another one. That would be a good one for a video. What is the advantage of Bowie lying about her age? So one of the things that's kind of rough in Big Brother is just fitting in with people, right? And if you can like be like in the same age group with more of them, it makes it easier to fit in. But the problem is, it's not as easy as one might think to just be like, oh yeah, I'm in a younger generation, right? Like, there's references that you're just not going to get. I think that's one thing that makes me a little bit unique is I'll get the references of the older generation. I'll get the references of the younger generation. I'll get every reference going in between. I can float between many generations and be part of the conversation, just like I'm one of them. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. And I think that was something that was holding Bowie back, was she was lying about her age. She thought it would give her some advantage in being able to relate with the people more. But just saying you're that age doesn't make you automatically relate with somebody, because you have to actually have the same reference and experiences and just overall vibe that that person in that age group would have. Like, you can't just say, oh yeah, I'm a 30-year-old and you fit in with the 30-year-olds. Like, it doesn't work that way. Right? So I think that was part of it. But yeah, that's why she did it. Did it work? No, not really. I truly believe the letter was to help Cirie and it backfired. So RA, I can get with you on that, right? Like the letter could have been a way to get Cirie, you know, to help, like say, hey Matt, remember how Cirie, like Reilly wanted you to trust Cirie, right? So it's possible, but it definitely did backfire. And hey, we got another super chat coming on in. Good morning, Ori. Thank you for helping me wake up every morning. Great way to start the day. Love the costume. You get a little Hisam dance. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. More Ori Ransteston. Let's see. She's a lawyer. Xavier lied about not being a lawyer. And that's the thing too. You do kind of want to hide that kind of thing because it can give you this stigma of like, just people saying it's like, oh, well, they're a lawyer. Well, you can't trust a lawyer, right? Like there's certain people where they have a job and you automatically go, I probably shouldn't trust that person. Lawyer, used car salesman, like there's just kind of a vibe they give off. People named Ori who do Big Brother updates, you just probably shouldn't trust those people, you know? But yeah, the lying on the lawyer part, like that I'm for. But yeah. If you are on Twitch, I did not see you live for some reason. So I'm not on Twitch live right now. But I do have a Twitch. You can go and follow it. I do plan on streaming over on Twitch and Kick more, especially once the season's over. It's just been a lot because it gets so bogged down with the feeds. It's hard to keep up with everything else. Doing the live feed updates every day. And there's a lot that goes into it, making sure I have all the information and watching clips and going back and seeing things I've missed. So just kind of getting all that together. So once the season's over, I'll be able to focus more on that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely check that stuff out if you so desire. Isn't Bowie an attorney? She's seen conflicting statements about her barista, DJ, and an attorney. So Sal, I believe she's all three. Currently, I think she's working as a DJ more. She was an attorney. I don't know if she's still that. Barista, I think what you're confusing that with is barrister, which is kind of the term that they use, I think in the UK and Australia for lawyer. It's like their term for lawyer. So that might be what you are confusing that with. So I don't know if she might sell coffee. She might. It's possible. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you, Len. I appreciate it. Thank you for just watching. And if you're here and you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream. Also a new super chat coming in from Colleen. I appreciate you get a little Hisam dance in there. Also, if you are hanging out in the stream right now, smash that like button. Go on, give that button a like. We've got about 378 people in here, but only about like 200 likes, 194 likes. Go give that like button a smash down there. Let's see where we're at. Cirie and Felicia are to blame for their eviction now. Hisam would have taken them to the final 300%. Taking out Hisam was a bit of a mistake early on in the game. Colleen's loving the costume. I appreciate it. Roman says, I think they thought it would be good for mental health, but expected him to win an HOH much sooner. They have to write those letters far. Yes, so they do have to write those letters pretty far in advance, usually about like 2 weeks or so. So yeah, I think overall it could have also still been like a little sneaky way of like, hey Matt, remember that you're supposed to be with Cirie. Like Cirie is who you should trust. But it didn't really end up working out that way. Let's see where we at. If Bowie was an attorney, I'd love to know what field. She showed no signs of intelligence in the house. I mean, it might be a little harsh. Hey, I was a car saleswoman, but I agree. Listen, Nikki, you know, lawyers, used car salesmen and people named Ory who are putting videos on the internet. You don't want to trust them. Like Loki does watch BB. That happens. What happens if you're in jury and you don't want to vote for either the final two on that night? And that would be interesting. Just abstain. Just you don't vote at all. Yes, barrister is a lawyer. It is what they say in the UK. Good. Let's see. Ory, best ever BB fight. I like Keisha's birthday in BB10. That's a good one. There's a lot of really good ones. I like the Josh and what was his name? The big dude where he threw pickle juice in Josh's face all over pool. That was fun. What's another good fight? There was a good fight on BB16 on like 4th of July. It was like Devin, I think what's his name was involved? Frankie, what was the other guy? Beast Mode Cowboy, I think he was in there. Reagan and Rachel Frederick, that might be the winner. That might be the winner. That's a good one. Oh, Ronnie and Russell. What was that? BB11? Maybe? That was a fun one where Russell just like locked himself in the HOH room. BB11 had a lot of good ones. There was the Russell and Jordan one where she goes over and like shoulder checks him. There's a lot of good fights. And anything that Dick did on 8, that was great too. I know I've been wondering myself how good of an attorney she would actually be. Let's see, where else are we at here? Reagan and Rachel and Pandora's box fight. I only remember POV meeting for BB16. Yeah, oh yeah, that was a good one too. Reagan did get a little nasty in that, but it was fun. It was fun. And Aaron, that's kind of what I mean, right? Where it's like, if that happened today, people would be losing their minds about how terrible it was. But no, we can go back and look at it and be like, you know what? Yeah, they both said some nasty things, but it was fun. It was entertainment. Like, we need that stuff, all right? If they didn't get so nasty, it wouldn't have been as fun as it was. We don't have to like support the things they were saying, but we can enjoy it. Let's see. Oh, I don't remember the BB, but the one with the headbutt. Yeah, that was that 14? No. That was, wait, was it 14? Yeah. Cause it was the one with Dan and Ian and all them. Yeah, Will and Joey. Willie and Joe, Chef Joe. That was 14. Man, they were really putting a hat on that one, right? With the coaches and Willie Hansen there. 15 had a lot of great fights too. And that's another one too, where it's like 15. Listen, 15 was nasty, right? Like they were not good people. But it was a good season, right? Like it was entertaining to watch, even though like some of it was bad, a lot of it was bad. It was putting on a show, and if it didn't have that, it wouldn't be what it was. The only time I think maybe it went like to the point where I was just like, one, it's not fun, and two, like it's like nastiness for like not even gameplay or nothing. It was just like, why am I watching this anymore? Was probably BB21. That was like where like one of the ones where I was like, this kind of sucks. And I stopped watching BB21. Like that should tell you a lot. Love your updates, keeping it positive. Season 25 has been a lot of fun. We never knew what was going to happen. In the beginning, the end was too predictable. Teresa, I'm with you, right? Where it's not the best season, but it was a lot of fun. The journey. It's always about the journey than necessarily the destination. If we just look at the destination of who the winners are, most of the time we're disappointed with the winner. But the journey and how you got there, that's what really makes it fun. Let's see where that was a bad Survivor connection. It was. That was not one that you wanted. 15 was so bad. BB9 with the comment about Amanda's debt. And that's the thing, right? There's lots of things like that have happened over the years, but we don't hold them to these like crazy high standards because we know that like these are just people living in a house for our entertainment, right? And I think that's kind of the mindset we always have to go into it, where it's like, yeah, there's going to be bad people in there, but there's bad people in real life. So do we not want the bad people in there because we just want it to be nice and happy and everybody to get along? Because if everybody just got along in the house, we wouldn't have nasty comments. But is that the show we want to watch? Like, I don't know, right? Like, it's not as easy as a thing to do that. I'm impressed that you can differentiate all the seasons and each of the players from each season. I'll say this, Sal. I'm not an encyclopedia by any means, right? Like there's things like I'm not gonna know. I'm over here like playing with this hair now, you know. You guys like my hair? I'm not an encyclopedia, but I've got a pretty good memory of like things that have happened, like and stuff like that. I'll be honest, you know what my biggest weakness in Big Brother probably would be? Remembering days. As much as like I remember like events that happened in the house right now, if I were in that house, I'd be like, but what day was it? Like, I know this happened before this, but what, was it day 39? Was it day 27? I don't know. So that would be like the thing. If I was in that house every night, I'd have to be studying. I'd have to study every single night to try and get those down. But can you calculate it in JD? That's the thing, right? Like I could eventually get there, be like, I know this person did, and then right, like, but figuring out exactly when and doing it fast, like I don't know if I could do that. That would be my biggest weakness, like 100%, is those end game competitions where you need to know dates. Ory finally caught you live. Heather, thanks for coming on out, hanging out. When Ian came out with his autism and me being autistic made me love him even more. And yeah, like that's a thing too, where you get these representations where you didn't even realize that you were being represented. Like with Ian, we watched him all through his first season, not realizing that. And then when he kind of talked about it on All Stars, and was like, oh, well, yeah, like, you know what? Like, not only does it make a lot of sense, but also like it's inspiring to see him like open up about that and share his story and show an example of like, oh yeah, like you have autism, but that doesn't mean you're less than, right? Like you just have something that you're dealing with that other people don't have to deal with. So yeah, really awesome to see stuff like that. I would like an all BB streamers house. Listen, I'm first boot probably. Yeah, I'm first boot. You don't have to worry about me. You know, I'm not gonna win any competitions though. You should just focus on somebody else. Yeah, you know, so many other big personalities that you got to get out of the house before you focus on little old me. Come on. I hear, you know, Tom and BB boy. I hear they're talking over in the corner. Everybody go look at them. Don't mind me. I heard Jolene said something. Jolene and Kayla, they're up to something. Watch out for them. Me, don't mind me. I'm just minding my business over here. Hey, listen. I'm just your resident. I'm just your resident god of mischief. All right? Like you don't have to worry about me. I'm perfectly fine sitting over here Minding my own business. Not causing any trouble. Worry about everybody else. Got a backdoor Terran ASAP. Blindside Cameron. Secret Alliance. Ory and Jolene final to Alliance night 1. I want to make an alliance, old failed alliance names like Pose Pack, Regulators, Shelltown. My like go-to that I always thought would be a fun like alliance thing to do would be to have your, you know, your big alliance, right? And you also have your like your final two. Your final two, you two are production, right? Your name is production. Because you're not allowed to talk about production. Somebody walks in the room. Hey, what are you guys talking about? We probably should stop. We were talking about production. They're going to yell at us soon. And you're being honest. You're being honest. And then for your big alliance, you're the house. Oh, what are we going to do this week? We're just going to do what the house wants. Whatever the house wants. I'm just going to go with the house. So you have your big alliance, which is the house, your final two, which is production, and production is really running the house. And that was always my idea for a good alliance names. Pose Pack. No, honestly, if I had a chance to make a Pose Pack alliance, I'm making a Pose Pack alliance. I need somebody with the letter P in their name. So it can be the P and then the O for Ory, and we're Poe. And we're now Pose Pack. Let's see where we at. Not the wise guys. Production can tell you not to use alliance names, can't they? Like they didn't want Oasis last season. Yeah, like anything that's copyrighted, right? Like Oasis is the name of a band, right? So they're not going to want you to use that. Alliance name Eagles, I'd love it, but I don't think they would let me do it, right? Like not only the band, but the team, right? Like I just don't think they would let me do Eagles. Freaks and Geeks, that's one that I think kind of slid through a little bit. But yeah, like they try and make it like things that aren't gonna like get them in trouble for copyright or whatever, which is also why like I think something that like had to do with like a Paramount Plus show, like call yourself it's actually what I thought Daniel and Nicole named themselves as their final two. I thought they named themselves the Rugrats, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And then it was like, no, they named themselves the Rogue Rats, and I was like, oh, that's like weird. Buddy Games, yeah, just name your alliance Buddy Games. And it's just a promo for the show. I'm gonna name my alliance Jeff Probst. It has to be an extended Paramount Plus reality universe. Let's see. Two broke house guests. Oh man, that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. The ghosts. The ghost is used. Excuse me, sir. BB Can 10, Kevin and Helena. They would have something to say about that one. But it works. It works for the Paramount Plus show. Though I don't think BB Can 10 is on Paramount Plus yet. It should be. It should be. But I don't think it is. I have a friend who joined the TKE fraternity in college. He told his mom it was a religious group called the Kingdom Eternal. That's a good way to be like, Mom, don't worry about it. We're just going to church. Right now, If you name your alliance Yellowstone, production will carry you to the end. Listen, we're the Yellowstones. We're doing great. Ooh, the intangibles. I like that. Not only in BB9. Oh, I missed something probably, but it's a little further back. There seemed to be no real alliances this season. Last year, the leftovers stuck together until close to the end. Yeah, they were like, the way I would almost describe it was like voting blocks, right? Like things would like move around and they were really dynamic. It was fun. And that's part of what made this season more entertaining, was that unpredictability with it. Had another shout out to Kevin Costner. I think you should leave, Mara. That's a good one. I like that one too. The Flipstones. Oh, the Flipstones. That's actually, I actually like that one. That's pretty good. We were just flipping the stones, you know. Can house guests talk to YouTubers? Like from the house? No. Interviews? Sure. If CBS lets them. that's also a thing. Asgardadelphia. That kind of works. That's where I'm broadcasting from today. Here's the thing. They have said this sentence a million times. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I think it's overall been a good season so far. We'll have the Halloween episode tonight. We'll see Veto take place, which I think is supposed to be like an interesting one. The way it was described, it sounded a lot like what Big Brother Canada does for their like final 3 HOH, like the part 1, where like you have to like move back and forth like along like a track. This one sounded like there was like water involved and maybe they were raising and lowering things. I don't know. It sounded interesting the way it was talked about. We'll also see a luxury competition that is going to take place on tonight's episode. I imagine some other kind of Halloween-esque thing would happen as well. But we'll cover all that on tomorrow's update. We'll have Thursday. We'll also be live. We'll come on here. We'll pop on. We'll chat. We'll talk even more. Probably about like things like Survivor. We really didn't talk about last week's Survivor either because we didn't have a live stream on Thursday. But definitely we'll touch on some of that stuff more on Thursday. This was kind of like a random like, hey, why not go live today for Halloween? We'll get dressed up. We'll have some fun. Plus, there wasn't that much going on. Oh, also, it is like the last day of October. Let me see here. Listen, I know there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I will miss them all if I try and list them. So I instead of trying to list them all, let's just do a giant birthday song for all of the October birthdays. Like, I know, like right offhand, someone who I definitely missed out on giving a birthday song to was Dud. Poor Dud. I was sick when it was his birthday and didn't do the stream. I know we had another one like just a couple of days ago. It was somebody's birthday as well. And there's just ton. Allie, gotta love Allie, long time watcher of the channel, was just her birthday. So let's do a birthday song for all the October birthdays. Anyone who missed out on a song this month, let's have a birthday song for you. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Anyway, happy Halloween, everyone. I hope you had a great day. I really can't thank you all enough for hanging out with me. Not just here on the live, but each and every update video I do. It's been amazing. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to that 10K mark. I don't think we're going to hit it before the end of the season, which it would have been kind of nice to kind of hit that for finale night. But we're getting closer and closer to 10K. Probably going to hit it after the season's over because I do want to continue with off-season coverage of more things BB, but other reality shows just in general, getting on here and chatting with you guys. Thank you guys all so much. Check out the links to all my socials in the description down below. If you're watching this after the fact, there will be a pinned comment as well that you can check out all the different stuff. All the support that you guys have shown me here on the channel all season long has been amazing. But just watching, hitting that like button, putting a comment down there are all huge ways to support me, even outside of anything else that you can do, whether it's Throne, the Ory Fund, becoming a member of the channel, whatever you want to do. Just thank you guys all so much. But again, even if it's just a like, a comment, that alone is huge for helping and supporting the channel. So I really cannot thank you all enough for all of that. I think we're going to kind of wind. Oop, hit that early. I hit that button early. I wanted this. We're gonna wind down here as we end up calling it a stream, and bid you all a good day. Hopefully you have a great Halloween. Post your Halloween pics in the Discord, and let me see what you guys are wearing and how you guys are having fun. Really, just thank you guys all again so much, and I will see you next time.
It's running through your head. The things you've done.